getting started, I would like to welcome all of you on board with us for this Wednesday webinar of Econstruct Design and Private Limited. We always try to keep striving for new things, and we try to present it in front of you so that you can also be get associated with us, right? So this topic of today's is like little different than the previous one. It was also dependent on this timber structure projects and timber structure areas, but a little different. Maybe you can say a little advanced. Okay, I would be really, it will be really interesting if you all can put your cameras on so that I can see your expressions throughout the session. Okay, it's not like Sarne Bola, for 5-10 minutes we'll just keep it on and then we'll just off it. Okay, so just try to put it on as much as you can. If there are any obstruction in the back end, you can just put some virtual background or something like that. Okay, so let's get started with today's presentation. It is very crisp and small presentation we have prepared for today's webinar, and also we'll be taking a small session of the question answer at the end regarding your career, regarding your any kind of issues. You can ask us the question at the end of the session. Am I audible properly? Everything is fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So let's get started. Changing perspective, the mindset shift for timber structures, exploring the evolving views on sustainable timber construction. This is very important subject which is going to get happen in couple of years probably. Already in US and many other countries you might have known to this, that this timber structure is very much in subject. There are multiple projects which are in timber structures. In fact, the high-rise structures are also there in timber. So let's give a small introduction. In the right hand side there is a beautiful image that you can see, right? So this particular picture also is possible, or maybe we need to do some hard work to make it possible in India also, okay, in near future. Okay, so this is a global construction industry has witnessed a significant shift in perception towards the timber, okay, as a primary building material. Okay, and also there are certain carbon footprint reductions, which is very important subject in today's days because of the pollutions and all these areas. There are many places where EV cars and EV vehicles are coming in. Okay, not only EV, hydrogen based cars are also in the process of evolving. So why these things are coming up, why EV is required, why hydrogen based cars are required, why different kind of resources we are looking for apart from concrete and steel and other conventional methods. Why? Because there are carbon footprints. The carbon footprints are something which will definitely help us to, if we can reduce that carbon footprint, it will be definitely helping us to go for a better nature, better environment. Okay, so that is also one of the areas that these timber structures will help you out with. There will be a shift, okay, complete shift which will be definitely helping us in order to control the greenhouse gases as well. Okay, so there are different environmental hazards that can be avoided through this structure, as well as there will be a lot of benefits, okay, which can be witnessed through this material. Definitely there would be certain disadvantages also will be coming. Already we have discussed in previous webinar. You can check it out in our YouTube channel also. And apart from that, this is the something which we are basically focusing on little bit more. Okay, so next is about the technology, right? Technology of advancement in timber structures. As you can see in the there is a comparison between timber, concrete and steel. Okay, so as you can see, the per kg unit is also getting reduced. Okay, so the energy that is getting like coming out from this particular structures. So this J means joules. Okay, so 0.5 to 3, that much only is coming for timber structures, whereas it is going till 30 joule per kg from steel. Okay, so it's like huge change that you can see in front of you. Okay, also the concrete structure also is like average wise, if you see, concrete structure also almost same to the timber structures, but in terms of the self weight, if you talk about in terms of different kind of other areas, the construction time also one of the very big area, which will be even more for the concrete, right? So that area would be definitely a part of it. And apart from that, there are different other areas also, like advancement of timber treatments, right? Heat treatment, engineered timber products, which will be basically helping you to put some more enhancement to this particular sector. So these are the very few areas that is definitely going to create the difference. Prefabricated timber components, sealing techniques, okay, timber treated with water repellent chemicals. This is very important, because we all know that wood or timber is very prone to water related problems. Okay, water is very like it's like an enemy to the timber. So there are certain water repellent chemicals also which is available in the market right now, through which you can treat the timber materials, so that it can gel better with the water also. Prefabricated timber components, this is also one of the very important area, because cast in situ, I have discussed the same thing in the last class also, last webinar also, that cast in situ is getting very difficult in certain sites, okay, because of some maybe some it might be very remote conditions, or there would be different kind of weather impact, okay, different kind of other areas would be there will be monsoon problems, this problem, that problem. If you talk about Bangalore, their weather conditions are also pretty different, okay. And if you talk about some places in eastern India, the weather conditions are quite different. So it is always better to go for prefabricated, which is done in a controlled environment and it is just erected at site, something like that. Okay, so that kind of thing also is there, which is already in the market. So there are cross lamination of the timber that you can see. This is facade wise also, it looks tremendously well, which is called CLTP, fabricated timber. So you see, just like that, your drawing room is coming from the sky, that thing is happening, right? It's like just you need to take the cranes, you will be just putting that things assembled from somewhere and you will be just putting it here. Okay, so this is like so interesting to see. This can be your drawing room also, okay, in near future maybe. Glue laminated timber, okay, so this is like kind of lamination that they have used in the right hand side bottom corner image, if you see. Okay, so this is also one of the very interesting thing that to look for. Yes, now this is another very important area, fire resistance, for enhanced fire safety for timber structure, because fire is something which is like which is a threat to the timber like water only. Okay, so in intumescent coatings, so there are some different kind of arrangement that they have done for the fire retardant coatings. Okay, so over the timber, as you can see in the right hand side, there are some spray. You might have seen this kind of spray in your if somebody is having the iron windows. In older days it used to be there in the homes. Okay, it's like that iron rods were there. Okay, iron rods were there in the window structure, this thing. So there they put the spray for making it safe from the corrosions. Okay, and all those areas. So that kind of a thing also that is being done over here. They have put some spray to make some fire resistance, to make it a fire resistance product. Okay, because timber, it's very difficult to make it happen, to be very honest, because fire and water, these two are the most the biggest enemy of timber structures. Pressure impregnated fire retardants. Okay, this technique involves placing a timber in a vacuum or pressure chamber. Okay, where this will be basically with the different ammonium phosphates and borates that will be like treated with that. As you can see in the right hand side, there is an image also. This chunk of timber frames, it is being put inside a vacuum chamber, pressure chamber. Okay, so over there they are being treated with this ammonium phosphates and the borates. So chemical modification, okay, acetylation and furfurilation. Okay, so this kind of techniques they use to treat the timber elements little bit better manner. So all these things are like chemical treatments, whatever the coatings they are putting to make it even better. Okay, make it even more longevity wise also, to make it even better. That is the main scenario, main thinking behind doing all these things. Thermal modification is also one of the very important area. So heating the timber at high temperatures in absence of oxygen, this is very very important term. Oxygen generally helps to start the fire. Okay, so without the presence of oxygen, if you are putting higher temperatures, so the timber would be ready for the real time scenario. Okay, that whenever the fire will come, that will be able to sustain till certain extent. It will not be like with an initial period only it will be gone. It will not be like that. Okay, so it will take some time, it will be giving some time. So between 180 degrees Celsius to 230 degrees Celsius, till this temperature it will be able to sustain the heat. So charring involves intentionally burning the surface of the timber to create the protective char layers. As you can see, there is a image also in the right hand side. So they have just burnt the top layer of the particular timber area. So this will help us to create a different layer on top of the actual material. Okay, so there are some key areas, okay, or key drivers who are helping to growing the interest in timber structure for India. Okay, so traditionally Indian builders perceived the timber as less durable compared materials like concrete and steel, particularly due to the environmental challenges, which is very true. However, as modern treatment techniques and innovative products make timber more resistant to pests, fire and moisture. So fire and moisture I have told, pests I have not mentioned in the previous slide. Pest means that kira, small this thing comes, no? So that pest, if it is coming, then also timber would be gone. So this changing perspective was not happening before because of these areas. But in modern techniques and innovative products has reduced and make the timber structure much more resistant with this kind of parameters. Okay, now it is not a problem for us. We can treat the timber structures, we can treat timber elements in such a way that this problem, space, fire, moisture, these problems can go. Key drivers of growing interest in timber in India. Okay, sustainability, climate change commitments, okay, urban aesthetic, architectural revival, government initiatives and different policies. Okay, so economy is also one of the areas that is getting boosted up with this. So there are many factors which is basically helping to grow the timber structure in India. Okay, so there are some successful timber projects in India. Okay, as you can see in this tree houses and all these things, they have prepared with the timber structures. So there are some solutions and some problems were also given over here. So in the Coorg also you can see there is a timber structure that they have prepared. So tropical climate of Coorg, high humidity and prolonged monsoons increases the risk of rot and insect infestations. So they have treated with some extensive methodology and they have made this particular house. So this is situated in Coorg. Okay, so there are some Himalayan region also, there are some different structures that they have prepared. It is not purely wood, I think there are some clay or soil has been also used to create this particular structure in the center. In the left hand side also there is another structure that has been seen. Also they have put the air conditioner inside this particular structure. So this is like so good to see that technology and the very very conventional things are, or very very natural, like normal natural things are collaborating with the this kind of technological evolutions like air condition and all those machineries. So future outlook as the timber structure, how we can put it at the tomorrow's material. Okay, so this already we have discussed about the CLT and all these areas. Sustainable urbanization will also be there. So these are the few areas which you can definitely look into. And there are some regulatory bodies also in Indian government which will help, who are basically working on these areas. Griha, green rating, integrated habitat assessment, a leadership in energy and environmental design, a national action plan on climate change, NAPCC, national agroforestry policy, NAP. Okay, so these are the four main regulatory bodies who are helping or who are changing the scenario from different areas to promote and to go for this kind of timber structure. So you can just look into their websites for better understanding of this. We'll come to the conclusion. Cost of timber structure, which labor cost, job creation, market value. So there are multiple advantages which you can actually make use of it as a timber structure project. Okay, and also you can reduce, as I have already told, the carbon footprint. Also there will be a different kind of energy efficient methodology would be there, which will actually help you to create a sustainable development in future, right? So that's all from our end. So thank you so much for joining us. It's really nice to see you, all of you over here with us, and we would be definitely looking forward for the next session. Thank you so much, guys. Good night.